50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Welcome on in, everyone, to a brand new edition of The Dream Wager presented by Viva Tequila Seltzer. A little more on them in just a little, but what's going on, kid? Episode 446. Today is September 25th, 2024. And Josh Allen might be the MVP of the league so far. Kid, how the hell you doing?
Yeah, Josh Allen definitely looking like the league MVP so far, Dill. You got to give him credit. I'm doing great, feeling good. Let's get into it, Dill.
Yeah, we got a great episode for you guys. We'll talk about the Monday night doubleheader Sunday as well. Chiefs, they keep sneaking out those close wins, but we'll talk about Sunday night. NFL power rankings through 3 weeks. I cannot wait to talk about that. And then we got Thursday night football over here at MetLife. The Giants are hosting those Cowboys, so we'll break down the game, side, total, player props as well. We got about 14 games here on Wednesday on the diamond, but most of the teams have been eliminated. We'll talk about games that really have implications for October baseball. Hey, kid, we're already in the last week of baseball. Next week is playoff baseball. I cannot wait for that. And then WNBA playoffs will continue towards the end of the show. But let's start here. Before we get to Monday night, kid, I want to talk Sunday night real quick. Chiefs take care of the Atlanta Falcons. They go on the road and win 22-17. They cover. Game goes under the total as well. I'll say this real quick on the Chiefs side. Hasn't been pretty, but a win is a win going on the road. I guess a tough defense in Atlanta. They forced a turnover, and they were still able to walk out there with a win. No Isaiah Pacheco, no problem. The rookie Carson Steele had himself a game, 17 carries, 72 yards. I'll say this, kid. Through 3 weeks, Travis Kelce has been non-existent. He only had 4 catches, 30 yards. And it looks like, and we said this last year with this Chiefs team, it looks like their offense is kind of one-dimensional. Through 3 weeks, correct me if I'm wrong, but every ball seems like it's going to Rashid Rice, right?
Most of them.
Most of them. So, yeah, what'd you think about the game?
Give credit. I want to give first to Atlanta, Dill. I think Atlanta played well enough to win this game. To me, the only thing I can honestly say that was kind of concerning to me was the fact that Bijan Robinson wasn't able to get the ball rolling. I think you got to give credit to that Steve Spagnuolo's defense and that front, Dill, because that Chief front, Dill, is getting better and better week by week. So you got to give the Chiefs defense credit, Dill. But, I like the fact that Kirk Cousins was passing the ball. I like the fact that Mooney was involved. Drake London, another touchdown. Kyle Pitts with that huge play. But other than that, didn't really get much involved. And like I said, Dill, I just wish the running game got more, because if the running game was able to, just control a little more, get a little more time possession, keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline, I think the Falcons win this game, So it just sucks. It's a tough loss. I had a feeling, I thought the Falcons would have been live in this game. Give credit to the Chiefs for edging out another tough victory. But Patrick Mahomes, he was classic Patrick Mahomes still. Besides that one interception, he still was great. Carson Steele, he missed his sister's wedding, but he had himself a day deal. Almost got
dedication.
Yeah, I wish he would have got in for a touchdown. I know the wedding would have been a zoo, but other than that, he ran the ball great. P. Ryan as well came in. Patrick Mahomes, I understand for all the real quick though, for all the people out there that were pissed off, he went back like 10 yards while taking those knees at the end of the game. Besides that, Patrick Mahomes ran the hell out of the ball pretty damn well, if you ask me, Dill. And then Rashid Rice, Dill, he's becoming a stud, Dill. Yeah. This is 3 straight weeks. So like you said, Dill, no Travis Kelce whatsoever. It's just him. You have Travis Kelce, 30 yards. Juju, 17. Worthy, 17. The offense is centered around Rashid Rice. I was concerned without Isaiah Pacheco, this team will be just one-dimensional. And they kind of were, but they were still able to edge out a victory. Still 128 on the ground rushing. They'll got to give credit to Andy Reid as well.
100%. My issue with the Falcons is you cannot turn the ball over because that's how you're going to lose these games, especially against the Chiefs, who they'll take 3 every time you turn the ball over. So I thought that was an issue. A great point. I thought Kirk Cousins played well. Another primetime game where he played really well.
Hmm.
Outside of that interception, I thought he played really well. They weren't really able to run the ball all that well. I thought Tyler Algier had a good game, but outside of that, Drake London, I think him and Darnell Mooney have a really good
Yes.
connection. Kyle Pitts, Bijan. I like how Bijan's on the outside a little more in an empty backfield kind of set. So I do like that. But I agree. I think they played well enough. Fourth down, they did get a stop. That Atlanta defense, they had one more opportunity. But on fourth down, Nick Bolton comes up with a huge tackle in the backfield. So it was good to see Juju get inside, get a touchdown as well. But I think this offense is really missing Hollywood Brown right now. I know that's not like a household name, but that's another guy that could make a threat deep for this offense and just give Patrick Mahomes another weapon. So, they're pretty one-dimensional, but at the end of the day, they find ways to win, and this is still under Spagnuolo, top 5 defense in the Chiefs. So credit to Chiefs. They do move to 3-0, 1-2 for the Falcons. They move to 0-2 at home. Let's go over to Monday. I mean, what a fucking ass whooping this was. Jesus Christ. Immediately, the game was over. They jumped out to a 13-point lead early, 47-10. Buffalo spanks the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll talk about Jackson in a little because I have some questions for you. But, I mean, the story has to be how good Josh Allen has been. 0 interceptions, 23 for 30. 263 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, he played amazing. Joe Brady was in his bag. All these play calls were so simple. Getting out of the pocket, hitting Khalil Shakur. James Cook had another great day running the ball and receiving. Dalton Kincaid got involved. Keon Coleman, shout out the rookie. He got his first pass. It just feels like everything they're doing offensively, Josh Allen is just the best player in the league right now.
Yeah, Dale, that offense was ran flawlessly yesterday. Got to give Joe Brady some credit. Josh Allen, he was honestly damn near perfect. 23 for 30, 263, 4 tutties. And Dale, the 4 tutties were just all great plays. A few of
Yeah.
them were just wide open. So, the one with Kincaid, he had to scramble a little bit, toss it in the back of the end zone, though. But the one Shakur was a pretty ball. The one Keon Coleman was just a wide open throw. So you gotta give credit to Joe Brady, Dill. Josh Allen, as of right now, Dill, first 3 weeks of the season, he's running away with
Yeah,
the
he is.
MVP. I understand Sammy D, he deserved his flowers. But the comparison of the two playing right now, Dill, is not even close. Josh Allen is running away with it just because we know he's a dual threat. He led his team rushing once again. I'm just glad that he's not forcing it in the end zone as much as he did last year. Though, definitely appreciate that if I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. But Josh Allen definitely looking at the best quarterback in football right now. And just to highlight, though, that defense did it once again.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna keep saying it. People understand. I understand it's not best the best matchups yet. I understand, but you gotta give them credit. They're 3-0. That defense looks very impressive, and that's 3 straight games. Von Miller has got a sack deal.
He looks amazing. He looks so good. You saw him before the game, and he was like, yeah, I love Denver. I love all the teams I used to play for, but playing in Buffalo, it's different. There's a
It's
different
different.
vibe. Right now, MVP Josh Allen is tied with Patrick Mahomes at plus 250. I don't understand how. I mean, I would take plus 250 right now.
And he
And
hasn't won an MVP yet.
yeah, and I think he's due. He's going to win an MVP this year.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, you can make the argument he technically had better numbers than Lamar last year. I'm not going to argue with that.
He wasn't
But
the number 1 seed.
yep,
Simple.
that takes into consideration. But no, I agree. I mean, not turning the ball over. Joe Brady, and a lot of people are saying they're going to struggle without Diggs. They look much better without Diggs, if I'm being honest, kids. So I love the play calling, and you don't see, I guess, the heroic Josh Allen that we're accustomed to, running the ball. Yeah, he's still running the ball, but not as
Hurdling
much.
people. The
Yeah.
fact that you're 3-0 and Josh Allen is yet to attempt a hurdle To me, that's success.
That's impressive.
That's success. If you could, as a
Yeah.
Bills fan, if you couldn't draw anything up, I guarantee it was no Josh Allen hurdles and 3-0. That's pretty good.
You would
Great
take it
start.
all the time.
I, as a Patriots fan,
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Oh,
But
yeah,
if
of
I'm a Bills
course.
fan, absolutely.
It's exciting to see, man. Obviously, you and I, we have teams in the AFC East, so it kind of sucks that the Buffalo Bills are playing so
Well,
well.
to
But
you it sucks, though.
yeah,
For
I
me,
mean,
I
you
have
really
no
got nothing to play
expectations.
for. Yeah. Now let's go to the Jacksonville side because, I mean,
Dun dun dun.
it's like a head scratcher right now. I mean, I tried to get cute plus 5.5. That might have been the worst bet I've personally bet and have told you guys, the audience, to bet. So that one is on me. I will never again bet them. But I'll say this, kid. Trevor Lawrence. I mean, what was that? There were so many times where Christian Kirk, Brian Thomas Jr. were wide open and you're overthrowing him. You're turning the ball over. You got sacked 4 times. How much longer? Because now it's dating back to 11 losses in a row now for this Jacksonville team, dating back to last season. I mean, you bring in Doug Peterson to develop Trevor Lawrence, and he hasn't been developed. That is my biggest concern. If he continues this, the seat is getting very hot in Jacksonville for Doug Peterson. It has to.
I'll tell you what, the seat got to be hot right now, realistically. Last year, I'm gonna say they faded bad. I understand, Trevor Lawrence did go down with an injury, but they lost.
But they started 8-3, kid.
They lost 5 straight games
Yeah.
of the season. That's a fireball offense. Now you started 0-3. You had a double-digit first half lead against Miami, and then last week didn't look horrible. And now this week you look pathetic. Offensively, defensively couldn't stop the nosebleed. That front have some names on it, but honestly didn't show up. And then offensively, Dougie P, we got to stop calling you Dougie. You just Doug Peterson now. Because Doug McDermott might need the new name Dougie.
Yeah,
because Doug McDermott is the one coaching his tail off. He don't have the Super Bowl to to hold his back like Doug Peterson has, but Doug McDermott is on his way to go from Doug McDermott to Dougie McDermott.
His name is Sean McDermott, but still, we could call him Dougie McDermott after this game. I think he took his name from this.
No, that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, and that's the reason you bring him in. In the first season in Jacksonville, they made the playoffs, and you thought, hey, maybe they could, build some momentum into next year. They start 8-3, and I get it. Trevor Lawrence did get hurt, but you lose 5 in a row. You start 0-3 now, and like you said, they're coming out flat. They're coming out unprepared, undisciplined. What does that come down to? I tell you every week as a Jet fan, that is coaching. And it has to fall on Doug Peterson, because you pay Trevor Lawrence. In the NFL, they are not going to get rid of the quarterback. They are going to get rid of the coach. He has about 2 to 3 games, and I guarantee if they don't win a game within this next 2 to 3 weeks, Doug Peterson is gone. He has to be.
They start 0-5, he's gone. And to be honest, I think Doug Peterson deserves a longer leash than that. But at the end of the day, 1, the division is going to be out of hand. Yeah. 2, that's going to be 10 straight losses. Like, you gotta answer to that. So I just feel like Jacksonville has all the potential in the world.
Do they, though? Their
Dale,
defense. I tried to give. Yeah, go. I'm sorry.
Offensively, Dale, you have Trevor Lawrence. Say what you want. He's a top 5 highest paid quarterback. He should at least give you top 10-ish numbers moving forward. Let's hold his feet to the fire. I'm not justifying it. I'm just letting you know what the man got and what he should be doing. The man is top 5 highest paid quarterbacks moving forward, Trevor. I'm not saying you need to be top 5, but you need to give me top 10 numbers. Travis Etienne, he's a pretty good running back, Dill. Could you agree on that? I'll give him top 12.
He's good, but I'm surprised that they're splitting carries with Tank Bigsby. Isn't that concerning with you?
Tank Bigsby doesn't have a fumbling issue.
That's fair.
But Travis Etienne, he's a pretty good running back. Christian Kirk, It's a pretty good wide receiver. Brian Thomas Jr., we see the potential growing. Gabe Davis, we know who he is. Evan Ingram, when he returns back from injury, we know he's a pretty good tight
They're
end.
missing him.
I know they're missing him hugely,
Yeah.
Dill. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Potentially, they could be good. They could turn it around. I'm not going to say the season's over just yet, but if I'm Jacksonville, if I'm a Duval fan, I'm scratching my head like, what the fuck is going on? Offensively, you're sitting okay. It's not like you're the 49ers dealing with 3 Pro Bowlers on injured reserve. No, you're not the Rams dealing with multiple Pro Bowlers on reserve. Your offense is relatively healthy besides a Pro Bowler and Evan Ingram, and you score 10 points on Monday night. That's an issue.
100%. I really don't know with them. And it's the last team to start 0-3 and make the playoffs, 2018 Houston Texans. But they don't have a fucking J.J. Watt on their team. Now, they are dealing with some injuries on that defense, especially in that secondary. But, there's no excuse to come out this flat. I'll say this with Trevor Lawrence to a little pushback. Yes, he got paid, and he got paid like a top 5 quarterback. And I guess in practice, they're showing him that they have a quarterback that could win game in and game out. But every week, he's too inconsistent. He'll show you a game where he'll be like, okay, I see it. I see the potential. And then he'll have a stinker like yesterday where you just scratch your head and you're like, how does a guy get paid this? So he's too up and down for me to trust him moving forward. Do I think he deserved the contract? I don't know at this point. I truly don't. I mean, he's not playing like a top 5 quarterback. Yeah, he's getting paid like one, but I think you and I could both agree he's not even playing like a top 10 quarterback right now.
He's not close.
He's not even close. So it's very frustrating because I do like Trevor Lawrence. I do think the potential is there, but I don't know if this is the right situation. I don't know if Doug Peterson is the right guy because they bring him in to develop Trevor Lawrence, and he hasn't developed. That is my issue here with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we'll see, but they need to turn it around. Things are slipping quick for them. But I want to go to the next game. Wow. The Washington Redskins and Jaden Daniels. I mean, we talked about it with Anthony and TJ in the summer. This kid played the game of his life. He might be better than Caleb Williams. I mean, what a fucking you talk about Josh Allen being nearly perfect. This kid was nearly perfect. 21 for 23, 252 yards, 2 tutties. He rushed for 39 yards and a touchdown. And a lot of people are saying and criticizing, oh, he's rushing too much. If you actually watch the games, he's running a lot of RPOs. They're not really designed runs for him. So I don't really think he needs to cut down on the running. That is his game. Love Austin Eckler. I think they had a great 1-2 punch, a little underrated 1-2 punch in the backfield with Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson Jr. Finally, give the ball to fucking Terry McLaurin. I mean, this is what we've been waiting for, kid. This is a top 15 receiver, top 10 at some points. He played like it last night. You just got to throw it up and trust him. That's what Jaden Daniels did last night. Love the kid Luke McCaffrey as well. I think he's going to be a stud. And you already see the connection with him and Zach Ertz. He trusts Zach Ertz a lot, which most rookie quarterbacks love their tight end. I love Noah Brown as well. This team, man, and their defense, that is the story as well. Their defense isn't that good, but offensively, they're going to put up some points here with Jaden Daniels, man. What a game. He played the game of his life last night. And I think the story on the other side is I don't think it's so much the offense for the Bengals because the offense put up 33 points. When you go 29 for 38, 324 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions, you should win that game at home. So it's not the offense. I like Chase Brown as well. I think he runs the ball hard. It's the defense. I mean, I don't know how you go and put up a nice defensive showing against the Chiefs where I don't know. They have like some weird voodoo that they always play the Chiefs well for some reason. I don't know why. They just play them really well. But like outside of that, you come home and you lay an egg like this and you let up 38 points to the Redskins. I mean, that's a fireable offense, kid. I think that's the main story. I want to give Jaden Daniels his flowers, but the story has to be the Bengals defense.
Real quick, y'all. I wanted to touch up on what you just said, but you know what? I'm gonna go to how I have my things. As last night, though, I cried a little bit.
Wow.
As a Patriots fan, I cried
because you could have had him.
Dale, how many times have I say our loyal listeners will know I said this plenty of times. Why the hell did we have to beat the Cardinals last year? Dude, I cried a little bit last night, man. Just because Jalen Daniels was special. Last night for week 3, he was a top 10 quarterback. 21 for 23. How you doing?
Amazing.
Led his team in rushing, 12 carries for 39 yards and a touchdown. Deal. The kid, for his first Monday Night Football stage on the road against a Super Bowl contender, against, not respectfully, his big homies in Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase in LSU vibes, people. LSU vibes. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. He looked up to those dudes just a year ago. You understand this, people. So what I mean by big homies is LSU alumni shit. Still, the fact that he was able to outdo Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow had himself a day. I want people to understand Joe Burrow balled. But Jalen Daniels outdo Joe Burrow in his first Monday Night Football game, though. I cannot stress this enough. Jalen Daniels might be the real deal. I'm not going to say he's better than Caleb, though, just yet. But so far, as a rookie, first 3 games, he's head and toes over Caleb Williams, still. Jalen Daniels just flat out special. Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson, like you said, pretty good 1-2 punch. Combined, all 3 collectively about 108 on the ground. Terry McLaurin finally had himself a game. 4 catches, 25 a clip with the long TD, game-winning touchdown. Luke McCaffrey almost got in with a touchdown. His foot got out at like the 3-yard line. Zach Ertz, 3 of those receptions came in the fourth quarter. 2 of those were must-have-it first downs. And Jalen Daniels was hitting him right between the numbers still. Like I said, I was just surprised on how poised and how great he looked running and throwing the ball in a crazy environment. Like I said, though, first Monday Night Football against the big homies in Cincinnati. I can't stress it enough, though. That was flat out amazing. And for the Bengals, though, they played well enough to win this game. They played well enough to be about 28 teams in the NFL. Still, Joe Burrow was amazing. 29 for 38, 3 tutties, zero sacks. 0 interceptions, 2 sacks. Chase Brown, Zach Moss, both of them ran the ball well. Jamar Chase finally had a huge day. 2 tutties, a $118, 6 catches. My boy, Andre Luvias, he went over 5 catches, 52 yards with a tutty, Dill. Mike Gesicki from the tight end position, T. Higgins didn't really expect much from him. He had 3 catches, 39 yards, Dill. The team showed up. Defensively, I'm not just going to blame the defense because Jalen Daniels was special. I'm not going to, talk bad about the defense because what happened last night was somebody showing up and being special and being great. And that's what Jalen Daniels was still. So give credit to the Washington Commanders, Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury. Real quick, though, to end it off, I think Cliff Kingsbury has won himself a job this offseason just off of last night. You was able to have a rookie quarterback step in on a Monday night stage, go 21 for 23, and win the game as a 7.5-point underdog. Hats off to Cliff Kingsbury, though.
He was in his bag last night. We talk about Joe Brady. Cliff Kingsbury was in his bag last night with
he got
his
a job.
Kid.
He got a job just off last night.
And I think this is perfect. We talk about developing young quarterbacks and developing a guy like a Trevor Lawrence. I think this is a perfect situation for Jalen Daniels, getting a guy like Cliff Kingsbury. And I love what he's doing. Empty backfield in a 2-man, 2 high safety set where you could basically, they're daring you to run the ball. Their run defense couldn't stop a nosebleed yesterday. And then to step up on the game-winning throw where they have cover 0, you have one extra guy where you can't block. You're going to take a hit. You stand in the pocket and you deliver a dime. I stood up. When I saw it, I had to applaud it because it was amazing what I saw from a rookie. 95% of rookies can't make that throw. On the road, prime time, that's special.
85% of the NFL can't make that throw.
It was very
Monday
special.
night stage to win the game. Still, that was special.
And don't look now, but They're on top of the division, 2-1, the Redskins in that division right now.
Shout out
So,
Dan Quinn.
shout out Dan Quinn, I'm telling you. So I thought they were the winners last night. Yes, Buffalo looked amazing. They're a top 2 team in the league right now, maybe one. But I think the winner of the week was the Broncos and the Redskins. I mean, what a win for the Redskins on the road. And 0-3 now for Joe Burrow. Is it time to change the hair?
Yeah. No, Dill. No, it's not about the hair. If he had himself a bad game, Dill, if he threw 3 interceptions yesterday, I would be like, okay. The kid had 3 tutties, over 300. Dill, it wasn't him.
It's not the offense. It's the
not
defense.
Zach Taylor. It wasn't even the defense, Dill.
I mean, you can't let up 38 points at home, though, kid.
I understand, Dill, but if LeBron goes out there and gives you 50, you gonna blame the defense, or you gonna be like LeBron was on one tonight?
That's different. But that's different. This is a rookie.
Jalen Daniels went 21
but he's a rookie.
Dill, he still went 21 for 23.
I know,
no
but up until last night, I don't think Jaden Daniels has proven that he was elite.
No, that's the whole point, Dill. No other quarterback was able to do that. He did it. Dill, he was flat out special. He balled. You got to give him that. You got to give him that. That throw at the end of the game, the defender was on him. He took it.
So who do you put the blame on? Who do you put the blame on for the Bengals? Because it's not the offense. I don't think it's the coaching. Who is it? Who's it on? Because they played well enough to win the game last night.
Cliff Kingsbury and Jaden Daniels. Dill,
so it's the defense.
I'm not going to blame the defense when they executed a play to perfect. The defense played the play great, Dill. Defender was right on his face.
Yeah.
The defender guarded TJ perfectly. He dropped the ball where only his receiver could get it.
Is it fair to say the defense needs to step up in week 1 against, no disrespect, but a lackluster offense in the Patriots? They moved up and down the field.
Absolutely, but we scored 16 points still. And the NFL holding your opponent to 16 points, you should win you that game. Last week against the Chiefs, still, we could say whatever we want about that call, Dill. The defense couldn't get off the field.
100%. It's been the defense the whole season, in my opinion, for them. And
that defense played well enough to win week 1. They played well enough to win week 2. And in my opinion, they played well enough to win week 3. Jalen Daniels just beat you with that throw.
It was a perfect throw.
That throw doesn't get executed, then we having a different conversation.
I might go out on a limb, and we're only in week 3, and I don't want to do overreaction just yet, but that might be the throw of the year so far. It's
gonna be some game-winning Hail Mary out there.
But as of right now, that's the best throw.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. And the AFC North, I was talking about the NFC East real quick. The AFC North, that is not shaking up to what we thought.
I'm trying to tell you.
Pittsburgh 3-0, Baltimore and Cleveland 1-2, and Cincinnati is 0-3, kid. I mean, what a week. But overall, another solid week in the books for me. For week 3, I just had it. I think, 10-6, up 2.53 units. So that's 3 winning weeks in a row. Kid, did we get in the green this week?
Yeah, Dill. I finally got in the green. I think we were in the green for the season. That's how well we did. Went 10-5, up 4.7 units. Still had himself a pretty good week. Dill. Hopefully, moving on. That's how it goes.
Let's do it. Let's go into week 4 with another positive week. Let's go into our power rankings though, because like I said, right before we were chatting, before we went online, I'm very interested to see your power rankings. I want to start real quick. I almost put the Jets in top 10. They are at 11, but I didn't put them in just yet. They need to prove it a little more to me. At number 10 for me, I know people we get pushback in comment if you do, because I want to hear from you guys. But at 10, I know probably not in a lot of people's power rankings, but I still believe in them. They are just decimated with injuries right now. I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers at 1 and 2. We talk about Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel. Now they lose Pro Bowler and George Kittle. Trent Williams did go down as well. Their defense needs to play better. They played well enough to win the game. Jawan Jennings had himself a career day. They need to get more out of their receivers, though. Yards after the catch. I think that's been the biggest problem for this wide receiver core. They're just averaging 3.1 yards after the catch. That's last in the NFL. That is very surprising for a San Francisco 49er team. So I still believe in them. It's week 3. I'm not going to overreact. 1 and 2. I still like the 49ers as a top 10 team. But if they lose again, they are out of the top 10.
Dill, I'm gonna push back real quick, Dill. The only
Please.
reason I'm gonna disagree, I'm not mad at you because it's only the first 3 weeks of the season. I do think they'll be a top 10 team when the year is over.
Mm-hmm.
But for the first 3 weeks of the season, they're not a top 10 team. That's one thing I'm gonna say.
I agree. I think as through 3 weeks, they haven't been playing like a top 10 team, but I'm giving them a benefit of the doubt because they've been brutaled with injuries.
Yeah.
So
respect.
Yeah.
That's what you call out there, people. Respect.
And to be honest, I put the Jets underneath them. I could have been the Jet homer and put them at 10, but I didn't.
Dill, put it like this. I'm not mad at you. I'm just trying to, be even with the people. That's all. At number 10, Dill, give me the Philadelphia Eagles. I can't deny it. Impressive win against one of the hottest teams in the NFL, in my opinion, the New Orleans Saints. Going into the Superdome, whatever it's called now, the Little Caesars Dome. Still, I thought the Saints was going to win this game, personally. I didn't touch it. I thought that the Saints was going to win it just because the Eagles' defense. What was our concerns, Dill? That defense. Yeah. And boy, did that defense show up, Dill. Made Derek Carr look lackluster. The passing game, Rashid Shaheed, who's been killing everybody all year, 0 catches, 0 yards, Dill. Got to give credit to the Eagles. Without A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert had himself a career game. Saquon showing he might be the best running back in football. I understand Jalen Hurts did throw that 1 turnover, though. But besides that, he played pretty damn great. Give me the Eagles at 10.
At number 9, with all the movement at quarterback, got to give it to him. Give me the Green Bay Packers at 2-1. My biggest problem with the Green Bay Packers, they have the most total offensive penalties in the league through 3 weeks of the season. 21 offensive penalties. They have the second most offensive yards penalties, 135. League high 8 offensive holdings. 4 by their left tackle as well. So they got to clean it up a little bit. But I mean, what Matt LaFleur is doing with Malik Willis has been amazing. 1 week they go, okay, we know you're going to run the ball. They still couldn't beat us. Oh, you thought he was just going to run the ball? He's actually a good passer now too. Let me dice up some passing throws here for Malik Willis. So what Matt LaFleur is doing with Malik Willis has been nothing short of been amazing so far. So I got to give credit where they're due. They do need to clean it up a little bit. But I do think Packers are a top 10 team.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I love your opinion. I love that answer. I would have had the Packers in my top 10 as well, but Jordan Love is not the starting quarterback yet, so I can't go that far, Dill. But I love the energy. Love the energy. So at number 9, I think you're gonna love it. Give me the New York Jets, Dill.
Wow.
As of right now, Dill, guess who's the number 1 defense points per game, Dill?
Jets.
The New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to throw week 1 out the window. Ever since, I'm going to say second quarter on from the Tennessee game, he's been pretty damn impressive, Dill. I got to give you that. Allen Lazard, been balling. Conklin from the tight end position doing his things. Garrett Wilson, we don't even have to talk about Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall and Brandon Allen. I think the story is Brandon Allen, Dill. He's a monster. He's going to be a threat come down the road, because Breece Hall, we know what he could do, but Brandon Allen, Dill, he could honestly become something special. We saw it live in person. He's a big boy, and he's just a rookie. He's going to be a problem. That defense is going to start getting healthy, Dill. I'm not trying to gas your head up, Dill, but this 10-day layoff, CJ Mosley comes back. Maybe y'all behind the scenes. It's only Tuesday. Maybe I got Sam Reddick agent on the phone. Who knows? But Dill, I think this 10-day layoff is exactly what the Jets needed from having 3 games in 11 days. I think we're going to see the best Jets team in these few weeks upcoming. Give me the Jets at number 9.
I love it, kid. I love it. I couldn't put them in there just yet, but I love the energy. I respect it, if I'm being honest. I do think they have been playing well. We needed this little mini bye this coming week.
Yeah, I needed it.
At number 8 for me, give me the Houston Texans. Still think they're a top 10 team, but their offensive line is not playing well. We talk about their running backs not really being able to do anything. Yes, Joe Mixon is hurt, but the Texans, they have the 14th highest run rate, and they're consistently creating run lanes, and they just can't get anything going on the offensive line. It's kind of one-dimensional with CJ Stroud. He's been sacked 11 times through 3 weeks. That's on pace for 55 times this season. The offensive line needs to get better. Love the receiving core, but they need to clean up some things. I think defensively, they need to get after the quarterback. I like their secondary, but the front seven needs to get home. But I still like them. I'm not going to overreact. It's only been 3 weeks, but they did drop a little bit outside the top 5 for me with that loss. So give me Houston at number 8.
Yeah, at number 8, give me the New Orleans Saints. I honestly wanted to put them higher in my list still, but that let's just say that stutter step they took against the Eagles was a big stutter step. Alvin Kamara, Derek Carr, Chris Olave, Shaheed. Offensively, though, I think they'll be just fine. Defensively, that's been the story though. Defensively, they've been balling. They've been playing at a high level, and they're gonna get healthier. Lattimore is gonna be back. Uh, Honey Badger, Tyrann Matthew, he's playing at a high level. The defensive line, Cam Jordan, still getting after the quarterback deal. If Derek Carr could just be more consistent, I'm not asking week 1, week 2 Derek Carr when he was just lighting it up, but if he could just be somewhere between week 2 and what we saw week 3, if he could just meet somewhere in the middle of that, I think the Saints team has the potential to do something. Give me the Saints at number 8.
At number 7, give me the Philadelphia Eagles. A little higher than I think
Wow.
than I think
I'm
you
shocked.
anticipated. Yeah, and I mean even myself, if I'm being honest, when I was making them. The defense stepped it up, and it seems like Vic Fangio's defense is coming along, and they're starting to play better. I mean, Brees Huff stinks, but outside of that, Jalen Carter is a monster. I mean, he was in the backfield every fucking play. He's a beast. They need to double team that man. I guess my one issue with the Eagles, we need more consistency and better ball security from Jalen Hurts. He's thrown 4 interceptions. He's charged with 3 fumbles through 3 games. He has 12 turnovers in the past 9 regular season games. That's the most in the league. You are not going to win in the league if you lose the turnover margin. So they need him to he's thrown an interception in 7 straight games dating back to last season. We said that on Sunday. So it's the most by an Eagle quarterback since 1996. He needs to play better. He has spurts where you're like, okay, this is the quarterback that led us to the Super Bowl. But then there are plays where you're like, you're not even a top 10, top 15 quarterback. I don't know what the hell you're doing. So we need better. The Eagles need better quarterback play. I like Jalen Hurts. I do. But he's too inconsistent for me. He needs to take care of the football because this is a good team, and they're winning without A.J. Brown. Now Devontae Smith goes down. Their wide receivers are very slim. Thank God they picked up Jahad Dotson, honestly, because they got really no one. So thankfully they have Saquon. They have a good offensive line, but we saw even one of their offensive linemen go down as well. Lane Johnson, a future Hall of Famer. He went down with a concussion. So I don't know. I still like them. I think their defense is starting to play better. I do worry about Jalen Hurts, but they are still a top 10 team.
At number 7, they'll give me the Houston Texans. Don't get me wrong. I knew without Joe Mixon, that offense is gonna, let's just say, struggle a little bit there, and we saw it. They struggled a little bit in Minnesota. Give credit to Brian Flores as well, but Joe Mixon is back in that lineup this week. I expect D'Amico Ryan to get that defense going, and offensively, Nico Collins is leading the league in receiving right now. Yeah. You still got the Stephon Diggs there, and now you get Joe Mixon back in that rotation there. I think they'll be just fine. Give me the Texans at number 7.
I hate to do it. Number 6, give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. Won't do a lot on them. I got to give them credit where it's due, man. I really do. They're making
too. They were in top 10 last week. That's a leap, man.
Yeah, top 6 now for me. I got to give them credit. They're 3-0. There shouldn't be a quarterback controversy. Justin Fields has done everything right. He hasn't turned the ball over one time, and it was off a tip
Mm.
drill. So it's like a double-edged sword for me because I hate the Steelers, but I love Justin Fields. And I've been a Justin Fields fan since Ohio State and him coming into the league. I think this has been the change that he's needed. He needs a good defense. He needs a good run game. He needs structure. And say what you want, Chicago doesn't have that. And I think he needed to get out of there, and that was the best situation for him. They're playing well, and that defense is just flying around right now. So great defense, good run game, underrated passing game, and Justin Fields is getting better every game, I'll say. So I gotta, you hear it in my voice. I hate it, but they are 6.
At number 6, give me Seattle Seahawks and Geno Smith. I can't. I'm be honest. I can't say enough. I'm surprised how well this Seattle team is doing. Give credit to McDonald, first year head coach coming from Baltimore, doing his thing, dicing them up, taking care of the defensive side, and Geno Smith in that offense. Still without Kenneth Walker, the third, got it. This offense is just rolling. He was able to dice up the Patriots defense last week for 3 something. I understand Miami wasn't without Tua or whatever, but Geno Smith showed up and he balled. Covered the spread hugely. The 4.5. He looking like I know he's not. He won't be in the conversation though. But the first 3 weeks of the season, I'm at least put him in the conversation. He's playing like an MVP. Give him the Seattle Seahawks at number 6.
I don't care what anyone says. Smith is playing like a top 5, top 7 quarterback in the league right now. What he's been able to do against good defenses, and that defense, obviously, we knew they were going to come out and be much improved with Mike McDonald coming over from Baltimore. So love the play. At 5 for me, give me the Detroit Lions. Big win, bounce back win. And they finally, Ben Johnson, I mean, he was in his bag too with the hook and lateral. Perfect timing at the end of the first half to call that. I mean, you need balls of steel to call that play. I mean, especially against a Buck team that, you and I thought very highly of. And I still think highly of this Bucks team. I think, they just ran into a team that just went to the NFC Championship game. So let's relax a little bit. But Detroit, they went back to their running game. That's what they needed to do. I thought they forgot about that. They have the best running back duo in the league outside of the Jets. But, I like them. I do think they need to be more efficient in the red zone. They can't. They're 5 for 13, 38% in the red zone this season. They need to punch it in a little more. But outside of that, Lions are playing good football. It's a bounce back against a really good team on the road. So, yeah, I like the Lions at number 5.
Still at number 5, give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin got the boys rolling. Justin Fields is playing much better than I ever thought he can. Najee and TJ running the ball well from the backfield. And that defense, still, it might be the best defensive football. I'm not going to go there just now, but maybe in a couple more weeks, still, I think we might have to give him that title. But as of right now, give me the Steelers at number 5.
At number 4, give me those Seattle Seahawks, kid. I love them. Like I said with Geno Smith, what he's been able to do so far, and doing it without their kind of bull horse in Kenneth Walker III. Zach Charbonnet is really developing into a really good running back. We know what they have outside with DK, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. I do worry because Geno has kind of been on the run. Pass blocking has been an issue for them. They rank 30th in pass block win rate. They're allowing 33% pressure every snap. That's a lot. I will say that is a lot. They got to clean it up a little bit, but Geno Smith is smart. He's getting the ball out 6th fastest rate out of any quarterback, 2.66 seconds on average. So that just tells me he's being able to read the defense quick, and he's been able to get it out to either the flat or his first or second read. So I love everything. The defense is playing well, which I anticipated when they made the move to Mike McDonald, but I worry about their offensive line a little bit. They need to protect Geno because as far as Geno goes is as far as this team goes. But they're a top 5 team, kid.
Yeah, Dill. Give me Detroit Lions at number 4, Dill. I love Jared Goff. That 1-2 punch, David Montgomery, Jameer Gibbs, probably the best in football.
Yeah, they are.
Amon St. Brown finally came out, had himself a huge game. Sam Laporta, he'll be just fine, just a sprained ankle. Jameis Williams, the first 2 weeks of the season, he was balling, Dill. And defensively, that's the only thing I'm still worried about. but they'll be just fine. I think defensive they're gonna get better week in, week out. Aiden Hutchinson, another sock. He just been causing havoc all season long. Dill, give me the Lions at number 4.
Back to back ex Jets. Give me Sam Darnold and the Vikings at number 3. I mean, what a resurgent from both of them, Geno Smith and Sam Darnold. It wasn't them, it was the Jets. I mean,
Zach
what?
Wilson is next.
Yeah. Oh, we'll slow your roll a little bit with
Man,
that one.
it could be a couple years. Geno,
Yeah, it could be.
Geno took a couple years
yeah,
now.
you're right. You're right.
So did Sammy D.
You're right. You're right. Hey, don't write off Zach Wilson just yet. Proof is in the pudding right
2028,
here.
2027, he coming for somebody.
But I mean, we talk about Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan and all these great offensive mind. Kevin O'Connell has to be up there. He is one of the best offensive mind. He is putting Sam Darnold in the best situation whatsoever. You know what they have? Wait till they get Jordan Addison back too. I mean, you get Jordan Addison back, it's going to be even better. Defense, Brian Flores, what he's been able to scheme against these top level quarterbacks the first 3 weeks. He might get defensive coach of the year the way he's been coaching them up right now. But, you know, I still think offensive line has been a problem for them as well. You know, Sam Darnold is on the run a little bit, but outside of that, I think this team has been really good so far. I think they're legit, and I think they're fighting for a playoff spot here early on. So I like Sam Darnold, and I really like this Falcon team. I think they're legit.
Dale, number 3, give me the Vikings. You know, I'm gonna just add on a little, not get too deep into it. Brian Flores is just coaching the hell out of this team on the defensive side. Got to give him his flowers. Sammy D, he's playing like an MVP. He got Justin hitting him. Justin's looking like a stud like he is after his major contract. And that defense is flying, Dale. Like you said, Kevin O'Connell has to get some credit for what he was able to do these first 2 weeks of the season. Nobody expected this after JJ went down. Sammy D is balling, and that defense is flying. They'll give credit. Give me the Vikings. Who would have thought? Vikings
not
and
me.
both of our top 3s come week 4. That's nuts.
And like we always do, I think top 2 and top 1 might be the same, but top 2 for me is
top
gonna
3 was the same.
Yeah, top 3. Yeah, top 3. 2 is Buffalo for me, and 1 is Kansas City. Love. We talked about in length how good Buffalo is, how good Joe Brady has been for this offense. You know, I really can't really find a problem with them. Defense, even though they're dealing with linebacker issue problems on defense, defense is still flying around. Shout out DeMar Hamlin. You owe him, DeMar Hamlin, some respect too, because you were disrespecting him last year.
You were saying he should win comeback player of the year playing 2 snaps.
I mean, the man died on the field and came back. Granted, he wasn't on the field, but he came back. And now look at him getting an interception on Monday night. It was a good story. I'm happy for DeMar Hamlin. That defense is playing well. And I think the wide receiver room, yes, it might not have household names, but they're really starting to develop into a really good unit, I would say, through 3 weeks. And you know they have chemistry with Josh Allen. Then number 1, Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said, I guess my biggest worry is, when are we going to see Travis Kelce? When are we going to start seeing anybody but Rice? That is the problem. He's yet to score. And I talked about this with another team, Kansas City. They can't score in the red zone. They only 44% of their trips inside the 20. That's 24th in the league. So they kicked 7 field goals, and one of their best red zone threats, Travis Kelce, like I said, has yet to score. So I do need to see a little more, but their defense is keeping them in a lot of games. So 1 Kansas City and 2 Bills.
Yeah, number 2, give me the Buffalo Bills. I think we talked about them enough on this show already, so I'm not going to say too much. They've just been full out balling. And number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs still. One thing I can say about the Kansas City Chiefs is the best is yet to come. The fact that they're 3-0 and Travis Kelce is yet to go over his receiving yard prop, yet to score a touchdown. His team is 3-0. Still, that's a little concerning. The fact that this team is 3-0, like you said, without Hollywood Brown, that's a little concerning. This team won another game in a tough environment on the road without Isaiah Pacheco and without Travis Kelce honestly doing anything. That's a little concerning, though. You know, this team might be better than what it was last year because that defense is playing pretty damn good.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, top three were the same, a little different at the bottom of it. Shout out you for putting my Jets in there. I appreciate that, even though I couldn't even get there with them.
I
But
almost put the Washington Commanders over. I almost put
oh
them over the
wow,
Eagles, but I was like, nah, let me chill. Let me
yeah.
chill.
But,
Saquon is bugging.
well, let's see if they do it next week. If they
Yeah.
do it again next week, hey, they might be in the top 10. Before we get to Monday Night Football, kid between the Giants and the Cowboys, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted number one hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, zero carbs, zero sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or a new flavor, coconut, watching Thursday night football, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that artisanal blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get back over to MetLife. We were just there for last Thursday night game. We'll stay there. Thursday night football, the Giants hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys laying 5.5 on the road, minus 250 on the money line, plus 205 for the home dogs and the G-men. Over under is at 45.5. Giants coming off a big win on the road. Can they make it two in a row, kid?
Hell no, Dill. I'm not saying it's gonna be the same thing that happened last year. Was it week one? Yeah, week one, Dallas versus Giants at MetLife. Dill, the Cowboys just bull stomped them. Personally, Dill, I think this game is gonna be at least a double digit victory by the Cowboys. I'm surprised the spread is so, you know,
I mean,
so
it
short.
opened up at 4, and now it's at 5.5.
Yeah,
So money is coming in on them.
I caught 4.5. I love the number. I still like the 5.5. Like I said, anything even up to 6.5. People come to me tomorrow, even Thursday. If the number's at 6.5, still take it. If it gets to 7, I just feel like the way the Cowboys, two tough losses, getting punched in their jaw, against the Saints at home, getting punched in their jaw first half against the Ravens at home. Dale, I think this has to be a statement game, not just for the Cowboys, but for Mike McCarthy. Dale, his offense simply hasn't showed up the second week of the season, third week of the season, especially in the first half. I need Mike McCarthy's offense to give me at least 20 points in the first half against this Giants defense. If Sammy D did it, Dak Prescott, you better do it. You just got that huge deal. CD, you got that huge deal. Y'all need to come show up Thursday night football on prime time deal. Give me the -4.5, -5.5. Like I said, people, even if it gets to -6.5, and I'll be honest, Dill, I'm gonna take a sprinkle. I'm gonna take a shot -9.5 at +162.
A little alternate spread. I don't know. Call me crazy. I was kind of lean. I see me trying to be cute again, taking the 5.5. I would
Yo,
lean
Dill.
that way, but
Oh
I
my
don't know.
god.
I nothing confident, if I'm being honest. I really gonna stay away from it. Cowboys should win this game. Should win
By
this
double
game.
digits.
Yeah. And if it's a close game, even if they win by like a walk-off field goal, that's not good at all. What about the total now? It's at 45.5, opened up at 44. So money is coming in on the over. Do you agree with the line movement? Do you think we could see some points in this one?
Honestly, yes, still, just because I expect the Cowboys offense to at least put on a show or make a statement. We seen the Giants offense honestly get it going. Daniel Jones, though, you would even admit, played pretty damn good against Cleveland's defense last week. He played pretty well against Washington 2 weeks ago as well, Dill. We can honestly say for anybody out there, Daniel Jones has been playing better these past 2 weeks, Dill. And I expect them to as well moving forward. And this offense, Malik Neighbors, he's been balling. Number one wide receiver in football right now, fantasy wise. Malik Neighbors, Devin Singletary has been running the ball pretty well, Dill. So I expect the Giants to at least score a couple points in this game, and like I said, I think the Cowboys has a chance to score 30 plus.
Let's go over to the player prop market because that's where I want to go. You mentioned Malik Nabers. I mean, this is why you draft the kid.
Hmm.
And, a lot of people talk about Daniel Jones, but if he's putting up these numbers with Daniel Jones, just imagine if he had a really good quarterback. I mean, it's insane what he's been able to do so far through 3 games. And this is why you go and draft him. I'm going to take anytime touchdown. He's been the most targeted receiver in the Giants down at the red zone. He has 3 touchdowns already. I think he's been targeted around 6-7 times, plus 165. I mean, that's a steal. I mean, I can't believe they hung a plus 165 anytime touchdown for Malik Nabers. I'm going to take that. I guess I'm pro Giant here because I'm going to take Daniel Jones over 29.5 rushing yards. Number's just too low. What have we seen? Yes, say what you want. 1-7 against the Cowboys in his record, but he does run the ball well against them. He had 43 yards last season, 79 back in 2022. Then he had a 14 and then 17-yard game. But second game, 54 yards. Daniel Jones could run the ball. 29 seems very low. I would maybe you want to talk about alternate spread. I would alternate Daniel Jones rushing yards to about 40, maybe 50 yards. What has we've seen from this Cowboy defense? Run the ball. Look what they did. I'm not saying he's Lamar, and I would never compare Daniel Jones to Lamar, but look how much success. Yeah, look what he did last week. So I think we could see a big game. Just get over 29.5 rushing yards. I think that's a very low number for a rush defense that hasn't proven anything so far. So, yeah, I'm going to take Daniel Jones over 29.5 rushing yards, and I'm going to take Malik Nabers anytime touchdown plus 165.
I like it, Dale. I like it. I'm gonna take for player props, Dale. I'm gonna take Jalen Turbert over 28.5 receiving yards. Dale. I think this number is a little too short. He's being a little more involved in the offense. Had a great game last week. Kind of quiet week 1. I expect him to go over this number, Dale. I think it's too short. Most of the focus will be on CD Lamb. I think Jalen Turbert gonna get at least 5 to 6 targets. I say he gets 4 balls for around 50 yards. Still, 28.5 is just too short. And then still, like you said, this Giants team is gonna run the ball. Look what the Saints did 2 weeks ago. Alvin Kamara, I think 3 rushing, 4 total touchdowns. Last week, Derrick Henry had himself a day, over a buck 30 on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Still, I want to take Devin Singletary anytime touchdown at minus 110. Dill, we saw him. He could have got in against Cleveland. He sat down at the 1 yard line. Smart man for the win. And I think, what we saw from this Cowboys defense so far this season, I think they're going to let out a running touchdown deal. So I'm leaning heavy Devin Singletary anytime touchdown minus 110. But if you got one touchdown, I got one touchdown deal. I think we got to go with the over.
Yeah, I do lean over. I do think we'll see some points. Never thought I'd say it, but I am rooting for the Cowboys so you could cover and just get in there. Daniel Jones, have yourself a game. Malik Nabers, have yourself a game. And I'll never sit Malik Nabers. I fucked up in fantasy and I sat him in one of my leagues, and he's the reason I lost. And I lost by like 2 points. So
if it makes you feel better, I lost by like 20, and I sat Jawan
Jennings. Oh my God.
So,
yeah. And to be honest, I was looking in fantasy, not in our league, but in other leagues, he's still available in some leagues. That's crazy. So
I picked him up in 2 leagues.
Yeah, I picked him up in one of my leagues too. I said, bro, anybody out there listening, you got check your waivers, check people available. I would say Cordell Patterson too. Steelers are starting to run him a little bit. Cordell Patterson's a good guy. Wan'Dale Robinson, even a guy here on the Giants, he gets a lot of the receiving targets as well outside of Malik Nabers. Wan'Dale Robinson, he doesn't catch the deep ball, but he gets a lot of targets, maybe like 6-7 catches for 70 yards. I think Wan'Dale Robinson's a good pickup guy if you need some help in the wide receiver room.
But real quick for fantasy purposes, still Xavier Legette. The young bull from Carolina. If he's out there, go get him. Adam Thielen just went down. He's heading to the IR for about 4 to 6 weeks with that ankle injury. Or hamstring or ankle? Hamstring. Hopefully he's back. Adam Thielen is a dog. But if you're out there, you need a receiver in fantasy. Deontay Johnson is probably picked up somewhere for sure. But look at these Cardinals receiver, man. Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle. He's probably ready to eat up another 300 passing yards. Somebody's gonna have to catch the balls.
Another guy too, Cam Akers. Look at Cam Akers too if he's available as well.
Well, Joe Mixon is back this week, so we'll see about that. If Joe Mixon is out another week, Cam Akers is definitely a solid pickup.
Let's go over to the Diamond Kid. Like I said, some teams eliminated, so I really don't even want to touch some of the games. But Mets big series here down in Atlanta. They need this win right now. They are losing 3-0 right now, so not looking good for the Metropolitans here. Wednesday or Tuesday night, excuse me. So, what are your favorite plays here for Wednesday?
I didn't really want to get too much in, but let's start it off, Dale. I do leave Cleveland on the money line, Dale, minus 146. At home, over on the sitting at 8.5. They got Cantillo going for them. I do lean Cleveland, Dale, but minus 142, minus 146. Shop around. It's a little rich. I like Milwaukee with Freddie Peralta on the mound. That's another one, minus 150. If you want parlay, uh, Milwaukee with Cleveland, because Milwaukee's been honestly rolling. I like Detroit tomorrow as well, Dill, on the money line against Tampa. Little going on the mound. Don't really trust Tampa, and Detroit has been rolling, Dill, and that's really about it.
Yeah, they're the hottest team in baseball right now. I mean, how do you fade the Detroit Tigers right now? They won again today. Tariq Skubal's gonna win this AL Cy Young. So, yeah, they're looking good right now. I only a few plays. I like the Dodgers with Jack Flaherty on the mound at home. He's been really good, 3-1 in his 4 home starts with them. He's only allowed 8 runs in 24 innings. So Dylan Cease has been good, but I just trust the bats a little more here at home with the home team. So I like the Dodgers. I was gonna. I mean, how do you back Minnesota right now? They're so bad. They're literally trying to not make the playoffs. So they can't be a $2 favorite. I mean that number isn't right either. I like the Yankees at home. Baltimore, another very inconsistent team going into October. So Nestor Cortez is a guy you want to back at home, not on the road. So lean Yankees at the short number as well. I mean, another bad team literally trying to not make the playoffs. Kansas City Royals, they've lost 7 in a row.
We're live because of that.
Yeah, I mean, everyone in that AL is live because of them. They stink. I mean, how do you back them as well? You don't really want to back DJ Hearns either in Washington, so maybe look for an over. I think we could see some runs here, but yeah, love the Tigers tomorrow too. Can't back the Rays here. They win games, but I just don't understand. I don't know where the runs are going to come from offensively with Tampa. So, yeah, I do lean Tigers as well. I mean, they're hanging such a short number. So, those are the plays I like on the diamond. WNBA, Kid, what do you got for us?
And let's start it off. Phoenix Mercury taking on Minnesota. Excuse me. To be honest, game 1, Minnesota kind of rolled. I expect Phoenix to fight, for their lives. I expect Diana, BG, show that veteran leadership, and then they're gonna go out there and they're gonna play a tough one. Still, I think 8.5 points is too much. Don't get me wrong, Minnesota definitely the better team. Wouldn't be surprised one bit if they win this game, but I expect, like I said, the vets to go out there and fight, try to win. I think plus 8.5 is the way to go in this game. And then my final play will be Indiana taking on Connecticut. I'm gonna stay away from this side, but I'm gonna go Caitlin Clark over 19.5 points at minus 130. I understand people. She struggled game 1. I think she shot like 4 for 17 from the field, had 11 points. I think she has a bounce back there. I think she at least gives us a 20 piece. So 19.5 at minus 130.
Let's go. Hopefully she has a bounce back. Liberty, they're continuing to roll as well. And one little nugget before we end going into next podcast. Kareem Hunt has been activated to the 53-man roster, so help is on the way. Yeah, little reunion there in Kansas City. But, Kid, any last words before we get up out of here? Good luck on Thursday.
Yeah, not for nothing. For all the Giants fans that's going to be attending the game for Thursday, I honestly hope y'all pull off the upset. But I'm letting you know right now, don't cry when the Cowboys win by double digits, because I don't want to hear it come Friday.
Good luck. God bless. And we'll see you guys on Friday.